Tyrone Bowman live. Welcome to the conversation and welcome to the program. In a moment, I'll give you today's headlines and talk about this story. We're on the road to getting 2,000 subscribers for Tyrone Bowman live. So please join the subscribers if you mind if you don't mind. If you happen to pass by and you see the channel, if you happen to peruse it or you're just listening for a few moments, kindly hit the like and subscribe button. Thank you very kindly. All right, let's get down to this news story here. This is coming from the Reuters news agency. The headline reads: No clear reason yet for the Washington air disaster that killed 67 people, according to officials. And here is what we know so far: 64 people were aboard the passenger jet, on U.S. Army, three were on a U.S. Army helicopter. It's the deadliest U.S. aircraft since 2001. Officials say no survivors at all. President Donald Trump faults the government diversity efforts, or DEI, for the plane crash. Passengers included U.S. and Russian figure skaters. I will bring a detailed version of this from the Washington Post in a few moments. U.S. authorities said on Thursday it was not yet clear why a regional jet crashed into a U.S. Army helicopter at a Washington, D.C. airport, killing 67 people in the deadliest U.S. air disaster in more than 20 years. President Donald Trump, without providing evidence, said that federal diversity efforts could have been a factor, reiterating a theme that has become a focus of his presidency. Rights groups and Democrats accused him of politicizing the disaster. The investigation into the crash in the nation's capital has just begun. The American Airlines Bombardier jet carrying 60 passengers and 4 crew members collided with the Army Black Hawk helicopter and crashed into the Potomac River as it prepared to land at Ronald Reagan Washington National Airport on Wednesday night. The names of all the victims have not yet been released, but they included a number of promising young figure skaters and people from Kansas, where the flight originated. U.S. Transportation Secretary Sean Duffy said both aircraft had been flying standard flight patterns. There had been no breakdown in communication. Quote, everything was routing up to the point of the accident, Virginia Governor Glenn Youngkin told Reuters. The airport is located just across the river from Washington, Virginia. National Transportation Safety Board investigators said they would have a preliminary report within 30 days. They said they had not yet recovered the black boxes on the aircraft that recorded flight data. This is an all-hands-on-deck event, Chair Jennifer Homney told a press conference. The agency has begun collecting wreckage, including portions of the helicopter, and is storing it at a hangar at Reagan National. At the White House, Trump criticized the helicopter pilots and suggested aircraft controllers were to blame. We do not know what led to the crisis, but we have some very strong opinions and ideas, he said. Radio communication showed that air traffic controllers alerted the helicopter about the approaching jet and ordered it to change course. One controller rather than two was handling local plane and helicopter traffic on Wednesday night at Reagan National, a situation that was deemed not normal but considered adequate, staffing for lower volumes of traffic, according to a person briefed on the matter. The decision to combine duties in the evening is not uncommon, the source said. The New York Times first reported not normal designation. A shortage of air traffic controllers in the United States in recent years has spurred safety concerns. At several facilities, controllers work mandatory overtime and 6-day work shifts to cover shortages. The Federal Aviation Administration has about 3,000 fewer controllers than it says it needs. Airspace is frequently crowded in the U.S. capital region, home to 3 commercial airports and several military facilities, and officials have raised concerns about busy runways at Reagan National Airport. Several near-miss incidents at the airport have spawned alarm, including a near collision in May 2024. Trump accused his Democratic predecessor former President Joe Biden of lowering hiring standards and suggested the Federal Aviation Administration's diversity push could have weakened its capabilities, meaning blaming black people for the aircraft accident. Asked if the crash was caused by diversity hiring, he said it just could have been. The Trump administration has not provided any proof to back these assertions, and there is no evidence that efforts to make the federal workers more diverse have compromised air safety. Trump has moved quickly to quash federal diversity initiatives since taking office January 20, drawing criticism from rights advocates who fear, or civil rights, let's just tell it the way it is, civil rights advocates. I'm inserting the word civil rights advocates who fear he is rolling back progress the United States has made to overcome its history of discrimination. The president has made his decision to put politics over people abundantly clear as he uses the highest office in the land to sow hatred rooted in falsehoods instead of providing us with the leadership we need and deserve, Derek Johnson, president of the NAACP civil rights group, said in a statement. Trump cited FAA policies stating that physical and mental disabilities would not on their own disqualify applicants from a controller's position. These policies were in place throughout Trump's initial 2017-2021 White House term, according to aides to Biden's transportation secretary, Pete Buttigieg. Buttigieg called Trump's remarks despicable. As families grieve, Trump should be leading, not lying, he said on social media. Trump's remarks contrasted sharply with those of other officials who said there was no immediate indication why the crash took place. American Airlines CEO Robert Aslam said the pilot of the American Eagle Flight 5342 had about 6 years of flying experience. The Bombardier CRJ-700 jet was operated by PSA Airlines, a regional subsidiary. Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth said the helicopter was flown by a fairly experienced crew of 3 soldiers who were wearing night vision goggles on an annual training flight. Officials said they were grounding other flights from the Army unit involved in the crash and would reevaluate training exercises in the region. Aircraft control recording appeared to capture the final attempt at communications with the helicopter call sign Pat 25 before it collided with the jet. Quote, Pat 25, do you have a CRJ in sight? Pat 25 passed behind the CRJ, quote, close quote. An air traffic controller says at 8:47 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, or 0147 GMT on Wednesday, according to a recording on live at liveatc.net. Seconds later, another aircraft calls into traffic control and saying, Tower, did you see that? Apparently referencing to the crash. An air traffic controller then redirects planes heading to runway 33 to ground. I just saw a fireball and then it was just gone. I haven't seen anything since they hit the river, an air traffic controller says. Webcam video of the crash showed the collision and explosion lighting up the night sky. It was the deadliest U.S. air disaster since November 2001 when an American Airlines jet crashed after departing from John F. Kennedy International Airport in New York, killing all 260 people on board and 5 people on the ground. Reagan National's main runway is the busiest in the United States, with over 800 daily takeoffs and landings. The National Transportation Secretary Board has investigated 9 accidents at the airport this century, including 2 that were fatal, records show. The airport is only 2 miles from the White House and half a mile from the Pentagon, where 189 people died when an Al-Qaeda hijacker crashed American Airlines Flight 77 on September 11, 2001. U.S. Senator Tom Kaine of Virginia said he had long been concerned about the busy airspace where civilian and military aircraft must navigate the unique security concerns of the U.S. Capitol. I've been praying that there wouldn't be something like last night, but kind of dreading in my heart that there would be, he told reporters. Tyrone Bowman, never surrender, never quit.